Dub, that third quarter, you guys outscore them by 27. What's the feeling like there out on the floor when you're able to dominate to that level?
Well, we sucked defensively the first half, so our emphasis was to come out and play better defense, and I think we did a good job of that, rotating for each other. I think we got loose defensively with just like coverages and stuff the first half, and that's how they were getting a lot of open looks, and we tried to like shut those down and make them work for the possession, and we did a good job of keeping them to one shot, one rebound, and then pushing the ball.
Shai, this is the third time in the last 15 days that you've scored 50.
Damn.
It seems like your process has been the same. Has it felt the same? Just, kind of hitting those round numbers?
Yeah. It doesn't feel different. It just feels making a few more shots. You make shots, you're a little bit more aggressive. I feel like I'm getting better, most importantly, skill-wise, mentality-wise, sharpening my blade, sharpening my tools. So whether they go in or not, just making sure that I'm getting better is the most important thing.
Jalen, what's it mean to you to be an all-star, and have you had any time to kind of reflect on what's gotten you here?
It's a very cool experience, good honor for sure. I was really excited hearing my name. A lot of it I attribute to like my team. I think just where we are, I think helped out with that a lot, and what we've been doing this season. I haven't really had time to like think about it a lot. I think I've been out with my hands, so that's kind of been like a priority with that, but I feel like at some point it'll probably hit me when it gets closer to it, but we have so many more important games that I haven't really thought about it too much.
Shai, Kinrich said that the first time that he realized that J-Dub would be an all-star was his first pickup game with J-Dub, about his IQ. When was that first time that it clicked with you that he was on that track?
Summer league, his first summer league.
You said it was an off-season pickup before training.
No, I'm telling you, when I realized it was his first summer league, his like feel for the game, you can tell he just like understands it on both ends of the floor. And then once you have like feel and you can do things out there timing wise that you can't teach, all the other stuff comes and you grow, and that's what we've seen with Jalen. So yeah, his first couple summer league games, I know he's gonna be a really good player, and he's proven me right so far.
Oh yeah, tight.
Yeah, Shai, it's one thing to score 50, 3 times in a 7-game span. But, we can talk about the number, but we can also talk about the names, the other people who have done it. Names like Kareem, Elgin Baylor, Kobe Bryant, Wilt Chamberlain, Luka, Michael Jordan, guys like that. When you put it like that, not just a number, but who's done it, can you put that in perspective, what it means to you?
Honestly, it doesn't mean that much to me. There's so many like those guys have done so many great things with the game. I'm so far off of that. Like, it's cool, but like I don't think too much of it. Like I said before, the most important thing is to just know that I'm getting better through this process. Now, some nights it's gonna look like this. Some nights it's gonna look like missed shots, and still playing through those and finding a way to win through those. And that's what I'm after. That's what I'm chasing. That's what I guess fills my cup at night. Just knowing that I got better and I'm taking the right steps in the right direction to ultimately win basketball games at a very high level and hoist the trophy at the end of the season. So that's what matters most to me. But yeah, all the other stuff is cool.
Shai, there was a moment in the third quarter where you were showing off your soccer skills after your dunk. When you reach a certain level of stardom and there's all the outside expectations and pressure that comes with it, how important is it to play with the level of joy that you seem to play with?
Yeah, that was always the most important thing for me. Like, no matter the level, just making sure that you're having fun. And that's when you get the most out of it, no matter what you're doing. If you report for a living, if you play soccer, if you are a math teacher, if you're a gym teacher, like, as long as you're having fun, you're going to excel at what you're doing. And your job doesn't feel like a job when you go to bed at night. And that's what I guess has been the best part about my whole journey, just having fun, getting lost in the moment, and it's brought me here today.
Doug, you've gotten your first All-Star game, third season. much like Russ, KD, PG, CP3, they all got their first All-Star game in the third season. What does it feel to be kind of on the same trajectory as those guys?
Well, I didn't know that, so that's kind of like news. It's cool. I know the answer probably sucks. Like I said, though, I haven't really given it a lot of thought. I think when it gets closer to it, a lot of that will hit me of just like how far the journey's been. Just kind of like being at Santa Clara where nobody knew who I was or what I was doing, to like obviously being in a category with those guys is special. Something I don't take for granted. And yeah, I think I'll have probably a better answer once it gets a little closer to that.
And then Shai, you've never lacked confidence, but as everyone has pointed out, 3 50-point games, 3 consecutive weeks. Seems like you're just different. Like what has unlocked for you? Is it a change in mentality? Is it a increase in your confidence? What is it?
I would say a little bit of change in mentality. I used to really, really focus and harp on efficiency to the point where in certain moments I think I would not just play more in a flow state and like force a play or force a drive or force a shot instead of just like taking what the defense gives me all night. And I found myself doing that, having big nights. And I think that freeness to my mentality and aggressiveness has helped for sure.
Shai, a few weeks ago, asked about when you would feel like you were an all-time great, and you said that wasn't like really in your mind, but when you continue to look at your name and your stats, it's always next to those all-time greats. Are you at least able to like take a moment to just realize how special the run that you're on is?
Not really. I'm so focused, like every day I'm so focused on like honing in on my skills and judging my play based on like if it's going to translate late in the season. Those two things are what I'm like so focused on, and I put my head down and I'm working at that, and everything else I think I'll look up at the end of the season and reflect, but staying in the moment and focusing on those two things is like big on my mind right now and kind of consumes me.
And then you've talked about being an all-time great before. How do you block out those things when it's constant? Your name is I don't know if you see your name being next to all those all-time great, but hearing it even in here.
Yeah, you don't get in those conversations like really until you win, and I know that's what I ultimately want to be when my career is all said and done. So winning games, winning championships is the front of my mind, and it always will be. And after that, everything else will come and follow suit. So that's what I'm focused on.
Shai, did you have to talk Mark into starting you in the fourth, or was it kind of understood?
Nah, I was surprised he did it, but he just came to the bench and said, "Shai, you have a few minutes." I said, "Absolutely, thank you."
Did you rush it, or did you take your time with it?
I took my time. He told me not to rush it, but if he didn't say that, I was definitely going to rush it. But yeah, I took my time, for sure.
Deb, with a lot of skills, they're pretty linear in terms of like you want to get better as a shooter, you practice that. What's sort of the steps into improving as a defender? Because it feels like you've taken a massive leap this season.
I think one of the big things is the more like years you're in the NBA, you try and like build some type of like consistency. And I think for me, it was like playing really hard every single game. And then from there, I feel like you just learn so much about like the game. And like when you just give defense like constant effort, you start to like understand what you're good at and what other guys aren't. It's film. It's just being in the NBA, playing against the guys and like understanding what we're trying to accomplish. Having a good team defense is also that. But I think just for me, like I've had reps of guarding like literally everybody on the floor. So over the course of the past 3 years, I've just been able to like figure out what I'm good at and like strengths involving that. And then a lot of it's been like this year, a lot of it's been just like film where I can be more effective.
And then Shai, they talked about the 50-point game slot here, but you've had 30 average the last 3 seasons. I don't remember in your rookie season and going back to college you being this level of explosive scorer. Was that ever like something growing up as a kid, or when did that sort of like click for you?
I've never put like a cap or a ceiling on what I could be as a basketball player and what I was growing up. And I think that's allowed me to flourish into what I am today. So like I never was like, okay, this is my playing style. I never was like, okay, this is how I'm going to be in 5 years. Like I always just put my head down, work at things. The game's always in front of me, and it tells me what I need to work on in the moment, and that's what I try to do. And then I just try to be better every time I like come back, like for a season, whether it was high school, whether it was AAU. Now it's obviously the NBA season, but I always try to just put my head down and come back a better player and see where that gets me, and it's taken me pretty far.
People forget how young you guys are. I mean, you guys are just starting your journey here. With the chaos of the NBA and all the trade deadlines and stuff like that going on, how is it that you guys can keep focused, just kind of knowing that everything's so calm around here? We can start with you, Shai, if you want to follow up on it.
Yeah, I got it. No worry. Winning solves everything. So as long as we continue to plug away at winning basketball games, doing it together, and having an amazing environment in the building, we'll all be just fine.
Daniel, you got the last one?
Good answer.
Yeah.
Shai, when you listen to all the all-time great scorers talk about what they see when they're scoring, they all kind of say something similar about not seeing that first defender and looking past them and trying to think about what happens when they get past that first defender. What is it that you see when you're out there and you're thinking about scoring?
I don't really see anything. I don't really see anything. I just play. Like I'm out there. There's a guy in front of me. There's guys behind him. If he forces me right, I'm going right. I'm going right. If he forces me left, I'm going left. There's help somewhere. I'm just staying away from the bodies. If someone's open, I'm passing the ball. I just play basketball how I was taught to play basketball from a very young age, and have honed in on some skills, and I'm here today.
It's gonna be like a TikTok. All right, thank you guys. Shout out Jordy.
Jordy.
Mark, it seemed like this turned actually before that third quarter. What did you notice late second quarter that helped give you the momentum heading into halftime?
Yeah, I thought we stabilized the game at about the 6-minute mark. They outscored us 17-4 to start the second, which wasn't ideal. But we stabilized the game, got in a good spot, which is important. When a team's got it going like that, they shot really well in the first half. They played really well in the first half. So to be able to just pace with them and give our defense a chance to emerge in the second half was important.
There seems to just be this feedback loop for you guys, the defense to offense turnstile. When you get to that, how challenging is it for opponents to actually put a halt to that?
I don't know. I just thought they were super sharp early in the game. Credit them. They were like ahead of us the whole time. They kept the ball ahead of us. They were in a really good rhythm. We were just reacting to them the whole first half, really. And they finished those plays with made shots. So they were tough there. And then I thought we amped up our physicality. We did a really good job on the glass tonight. We out-rebounded them. We won the turnover battle, so we shot 30 more shots than they did. But it took a minute to catch them. But I thought the guys did a great job in the second half.
How much did it help you? Some kind of full court pressure with your guards and everything else? How much did that help you?
Yeah, it does. Some of those shot clock violations start at the point of it. It's the invisible part of those is like how the possession starts. If we can delay their advantage or negate their first advantage, it really helps us get deeper into the clock, get some playing against the clock. I thought we did a good job. Our pressure and physicality tonight in the second half, especially third quarter, was really good.
How about Shai?
Yeah.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, he was cooking. Yeah, he was really good. He's been on this one for a while, but continues to defend, continues to do all the other things that go into basketball. It hasn't turned into like a individual spectacle. He's just inside the team. He blends it into the game. He has a really good balance of attacks and creation for others. We run stuff through different guys, let it come to him on the second side. So that's what's been impressive, and it's allowed our team to not have to like stop everything to watch him score. He's done a great job of just playing inside it.
To start the second quarter, the shots weren't falling, but what did you think of the shots that were being generated by that unit?
Pretty good. I just thought, the issue there was our defense. When you're going to go through spells of the game where you miss shots, I thought we were generating good ones. We got some good looks for Joe. We had that possession with the offensive rebounds where we got, really good shots. But we were behind the ball on the other end. And in those parts of the game, if you can just stack some stops and let your offense come around, then you don't get outscored by 13 points. In 6 minutes, you get outscored by 8. And then it's a more manageable game. But outside of, that stretch, I thought, we did a decent job in the second quarter.
Coach, Shai's never really lacked confidence, but 3 50-point games in 2 weeks, 3 consecutive Wednesdays. Has he unlocked another aspect of his game, I guess, mentally, or another level of confidence?
It's a good question for him. I don't want to speak for him ever, but he's always been on this track. It's not like he just started scoring lately. He looks at the game like a puzzle he can solve. He's always trying to get better. That's what I give him the most credit for, is he's got a vision to always improve. He never rests on what he's doing, and then he puts the work ethic behind it, which is the horsepower of it, and that's why he keeps getting better. But like I said, you can ask him about his game and stuff, but I can't reiterate enough. When you're coaching a guy that's still playing defense, still, inside the team, allowing his team, it allows Wiggins to have a really good game. We got Dub and Caruso back tonight. We're integrating them. He's not in the way of that, with his own game or scoring, and that's a luxury for us. That's a huge advantage.
After missing some time, you got Caruso and Dub back on the floor. Just evaluate a little bit, then back on the floor. How'd you feel about it?
Great. I thought Alex had good pop in the first half, right from the jump. He was really, really good and active, and gives us another option at the point of attack on defense on some of those guys. And then I thought Dub maybe a little rusty right off the bat, but then started the second half. He's the guy offensively that really got us going to start that third quarter with some of his attacks, so he did a good job.
This run that Shai's on that goes beyond the 50-point games. Like you said, it's been a while. He's playing defense, and every time you look up a stat, his name is next to an all-time great. Are you, even though with all the things that you guys are trying to accomplish, are you able to take a step back to just realize just how special it is?
He's special, but I've always said he's not special because just the basketball part. I mean, he's a great teammate. He's a great worker. He's great inside of our environment. The more you learn about him and the more you get to know him, the more impressive he is. And that's what's special about him to me, aside from the fact that he's obviously a great, great player.
Usman got in about the 5.5 minute mark of the first quarter, and then second half. How's he doing, or is he kind of filling in Kaysen's minutes, or what are you seeing out of him since the injury?
We'll get an update on him in the morning, but he's played well for this stretch. I mean, he's given us, he had a great game last game, and he's given us really, really strong minutes. I give him a lot of credit. Like I mentioned last game, he was hurt. He was in the rotation. Then he got hurt. He was out for a while. Came back. He was rusty. We sent him to the blue to try to get his baseline back up. And he just put his head down as a third-year player and did that. And then on the other side of that, he's given us great rotation minutes. And we trust him in every situation at this point. He can guard his position. He plays the right way. He's shot the ball well lately. So he's done a really nice job for us.